As Israel retaliates, the possibility of a wider regional war looms, demanding more of Biden's attention. Hundreds of people have died. Biden and his team will inevitably have less bandwidth to focus on Beijing. And that's as the Biden administration's attention already is stretched due to Russia's war in Ukraine. It's a frustrating dynamic for a White House that had notched what it believed were major, often unsung successes in the Middle East. That included freezing the war in Yemen and making headway on pre-existing efforts to help Israel build diplomatic.
Unfortunately, people too often end up solving the wrong problem. Perhaps you can relate to this scenario, which I've seen thousands of times over the years. A decision maker assembles a diverse team to solve a critical and time-sensitive problem. There are 10 people in the room all giving input about what's happening, each from a different perspective. Within a few minutes someone announces what they think the problem is, the room goes silent for a microsecond, and then everyone starts discussing possible solutions.
The world's scientific community has been searching for a way to create limitless energy. From moon crystals to molecules that violate the laws of physics, the possibilities have been all over the place. Now, though, researchers may have found a way to use artificial photosynthesis to harness how plants generate energy and use it for ourselves. The process was discovered in groundbreaking new research, which has seen scientists successfully mimic the natural process of photosynthesis to produce methane. This energy-dense fuel only requires water.
For decades, China has seen relentless growth in power and economic prosperity. But there are growing signs that the economic miracle has ended and that the path to further growth in the years ahead will be more difficult. China's recent trade tensions with the U.S., which kicked off under former President Donald Trump's administration and have continued under President Joe Biden's, have disrupted a trading relationship that was integral to the economic miracle of the past 4 decades or so.
As these drops are only available by prescription, individuals interested in using them will need to consult with an eye doctor. According to doctors at UCSF, this breakthrough has the potential to act as a catalyst for future advancements in eye treatments. In the studies, participants were randomly assigned to receive either VYTY or placebo in a 1-to-1 ratio. They were instructed to administer 1 drop of the drug or placebo once daily in each eye. Both studies met their primary endpoints. The results of these studies suggest
One of the biggest challenges to eating enough protein at breakfast is either not liking eggs or getting tired of eating them every day. That's why we teamed up with dietitians and nutrition experts to learn exactly what high-protein breakfasts that aren't eggs they recommend. You can find these products at the store right now and start fueling your mornings with more balance. While sausage is delicious, eating it every day can rack up some serious calories and saturated fat that may not support your health. Applegate makes a delicious chicken sausage.
In a clinical trial involving 14 participants, immunotherapy on its own effectively eradicated rectal cancer. This pioneering study is the first-ever investigation into the potential of immunotherapy to combat non-metastatic rectal cancer in patients with a particular genetic mutation in their tumors. The trial reported a complete remission in all participants. Following immunotherapy, the cancer entirely vanished and has remained absent in all patients, some of whom have been cancer-free for as long as 2 years. This trial is significant because it paves the way for immunotherapy.
According to the American Cancer Society, around 150,000 new cases of rectal and colon cancer are diagnosed each year. And while the number is slowly trending downward, thanks to an increase in preemptive age-related screening, it's still the third biggest cancer in the U.S., affecting around 1 in 23 men and 1 in 26 women. Now, researchers at the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Research Institute at La Trobe University in Australia have found that how a patient responds to cancer comes down to how effective a group of immune cells in the large bowel are.
There's something strange going on with the Milky Way. Recent measurements suggest that stars at the outskirts of our galaxy are misbehaving. They're traveling far slower than similarly situated stars in other galaxies. One possible explanation for the Milky Way's stellar slowpokes is that our galaxy is extraordinarily deficient in dark matter, the invisible substance thought to serve as gravitational scaffolding for cosmic structures. Another is that our core conceptions about dark matter, such as how much of it exists in the universe, are somehow deeply flawed. A group of 3 researchers earned the 2023 Nobel Prize in Physics for work that has revolutionized how scientists study the electron by illuminating molecules with attosecond-long flashes of light. But how long is an attosecond, and what can these infinitesimally short pulses tell researchers about the nature of matter? Previously, scientists could study the motion of heavier and slower-moving atomic nuclei. But researchers couldn't see movement on the electron scale until they could generate attosecond light pulses.